Jayson Shaw against Mieszko Fortunski. It is Scotland against Poland. The last match of the evening. I think it's a tough one to call. I think one thing we can forecast pretty confidently, Jeremy Jones, is that the standard of this match will be higher than the one we've just seen.
Yeah, that'd be an easy wager, Phil, but you know, that's how the first match can go in any tournament, really. But these two, a lot more experience than the last, especially with Loho Sum, but he did get it done.
Mieszko wins the leg.
Our two premier lefties in the event, minus Josh Filler.
Okay.
And surprising, you know, the
Making
only
first
Polish
right.
player in the event,
Mieszko
if I'm not
Fortunski
mistaken. The Butcher, Mieszko Fortunski. It's funny, I spoke with a friend of his right before the match and told me that Fortunski's been struggling with the break, and we could see a little bit of a miss hit on the one, actually a lot of a miss hit on the one. There is a cut break that was used, you know, in the past, but I don't see that being used by the players this week. The table seems to be breaking just fine. A bit of a funny shot here just because the 8's in the way. He'd like to cut this in the side, but unless he wants to go into the 8, which is not favorable, he's got to kind of stun the cue ball by the 8 and watch out for the lower right-hand corner. He decided he wanted to make sure he didn't scratch. And with the 5 hanging, he's just got to make one long shot on the 4. So I think a pretty smart opening shot there from Fortunski to start this match. As many players, as one of the most talented players on the planet, very natural. Just like that. Wow, how sweet was that struck?
He showed his true colours with shots like this at the World Championship last year. Got to the last 16, beat the likes of Mario He. Eventually lost out to Albin Auschen.
You know, Fortunski now a guy that's been on the scene for a bit here in Europe, and another one of those players that you expect to maybe have already had a big win just because of the talent level he possesses. Like right here, I wouldn't make a mistake trying to go too aggressive with the cue ball. You could see the opening well, not opening shot, but the shot he made the 4 shows you the talent, so I'd keep it as simple as I could here. Yeah, nice shot.
Don't know why, Jeremy, but there's always something stylish about a left-hander, and he's a player. So too Jayson Shaw, of course. Can't get much more stylish than him.
Yeah, well, Fortunski has a huge upside, and I think he's shown that upside at times, but some would say he's, you know, earlier in his career he could have get a little heated at times at himself and cost himself matches. I think he's starting to remedy that, though.
Mieszko Fortunski wins the rack.
Plenty of support here as he draws first blood. Mieszko Fortunski. The Butcher should do well at this Whirlpool Masters because here there's plenty at stake. He's 30 years of age, 9-ball ranking 24, clearly with the potential to rise up the charts as the months go by. He played here last year, was beaten in the last 16. He comes from a very vibrant pool nation. So many really good players from Poland. Victor Zielinski's doing so well at the moment. He's won back-to-back Euro Tour events. Came very close to making it a 3rd, actually, over the weekend. So many great players from that country, and pool is really supported in Poland. As for Jayson Shaw, he's the pride of Scottish pool. Eagle Eye, his 9-ball ranking 18, and there's definitely scope for massive improvement on that. Much like Skylar Woodward, who we saw win our first match this evening. He's also a two-time Mosconi Cup MVP.
Rack 2. Mieszko Fortunski to break, leading 1-0.
Yeah, well, the only thing to improve on from rack number 1 is the opening break shot. See if he can catch the one a little more square. Yeah, that's more like it. Looks like he's made 4 so far. He's going to have a cut shot on the 2, but it does kind of lead towards going into the 8 with the cue ball for position on the 5. Now, for the most part, I would think the guys, you know, if they had a choice, would rather not pocket the 1 in the side. They'd rather the 1 come around for the corner like we saw in the opening match so many times. He's got to just take a little chance moving the cue ball. I don't know if he can get the cue ball into the 5 or if he just gets it into the 8 here. Soft draw stroke. Yeah, nice. He's comfortable, Phil. Which he always kind of appears comfortable. He's just a very athletic player is what I call it. Going for his extension, I believe.
Extension, please.
A lot of room to move the cue ball out. The mistake is a bit of an underhit, so he can come out almost to the center of the table and be just fine. That's a nice shot. Well played. Always would rather be above the ball. And what that means is you can see he's in the center of the table. If he's to the left of the 7, he's behind. It's always funny pocketing the ball when you're a little behind it. So he's going to get a little straightish, but I think he has the follow stroke to get on the 9. He's going to draw the ball, so straighter than I thought. Oh, that's gone way too much. Way too much. He's going to have to show us his skills on a tough 9. That's surprising. I mean, I know it's his first really draw stroke on this table, so it can certainly get away from you, but
that, Jeremy, will hurt. It was a self-inflicted wound. The positional play onto the 9 did not need to be pinpoint. It wasn't the case of having to drop it on a dime by any means. It was a gross misjudgment, and
extension, please.
Now it could be very costly.
And a tough opening shot for Jay. Cutting this in the side. Okay, so a little nerves maybe going to take that in the side versus the corner.
Jayson Shaw wins the rack.
He will be so relieved. He's played 1 shot and he's won 1 rack. And I'll tell you what, you do not want to give Jayson Shaw any encouragement. And of course, the encouragement for him is that he breaks off in rack 3. Jayson Shaw is delighted with the fact that we have so many pool tournaments these days, and not just any old events either. Matchroom multi-sport events, which are the creme de la creme. Next up, it's the UK Open, which will mean a lot to Jayson, played at the Copper Box Arena in London. That's from May 17 to 22. 256 entries for that. It will be one busy 6 days. The World Cup of Pool, that's from June 14 to 19 at the Brentwood Centre. Harrah's in Atlantic City hosts the US Open. What a great week it was last year. Then Mosconi Cup and European Open also to look forward to.
Thank you. Rack 3. Jayson Shaw to break. 1 rack each.
No Jayson prefers that side of the table to break from if it's the side rail. So cue ball getting kissed back to the end rail, and I don't know if he can go offensive here. I'm not really sure what he's looking at here. Can he bank the 2 down between the 4-9 up to the top rail and run the cue ball between the between the 5 and 7? This is difficult here. I'm not sure what the shot is here, Phil. He may just play a mild safety, again banking the 2 between the 5 and 9, kind of following the cue ball mildly by the 7. And he caught the 5, so we'll see what the 2 does. Pretty fortunate to get the complete snooker there. Now Fortunski's got action on a couple balls here, maybe. If he overcuts the 2 a bit, he may send the 9 towards that right corner. May send the 9 towards that corner anyways.
Extension. Extension, please.
I think he's supposed to go for the pot in the upper left. The 6 got knocked over by the 9. I'm not sure if it has a pocket. I think Jayson will take on the cut here. No, he should play this safety. Wow, what a great touch that was.
I'm not saying that's the best shot tonight, Jeremy, but in terms of defensive pool, that was right up there, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, not only the outcome, but that was nothing even close to natural. Most say this kind of outcome, I mean, there's something, you know, leaning towards that, right? Jayson made all that happen himself.
Ball stroke.
Yeah, top English was always going to be hard to get at that 2. It was more of a center ball kick. He needed to elevate the back end of the cue.
Start the clock, please.
Which I've always talked about Jayson with his safety play. You know, some would say when he first hit the scene in pool, it wasn't his strong suit. But I think he's one of the best at it now, believe it or not. Almost like a Rodney Morris back in the day. Didn't always play the most traditional safeties, but man, could execute. That was an interesting shot because the 6 did play to the upper left, and now he may have made it actually more difficult. And the only reason I say that is trying to get position on the 7 is definitely more difficult. He's got to look at maybe a 3-rail position here off the 6. Maybe he can pull it enough to just come 2 rails.
Extension.
Extension, please.
It'd be funny if he came and played short side on the 6 anyways. Looks like he's drawing the cue ball. I don't know if he got there or not. He doesn't look too upset about it.
He's such an artist. He's so skilled, not just in the execution of shots, but in seeing them as well. Visualization.
Well, 2 years ago at the Moscone, I think he stole the MVP by making all them great shots. But last year, I've never seen him play better.
Jayson Shaw wins the rack.
That was a really good rack to win, as indeed was rack number 2. Jayson Shaw lost the opener. Now, though, he's hit the front.
Thank you, rack 4. Jayson Shaw to break, leading 2 racks to 1.
Welcome back to the Whirlpool Masters at the Europa Point Sports Complex in Gibraltar. Jayson Shaw, in the eyes of many, one of the favourites to lift the trophy come Sunday night. I'll tell you what, if the break's working the way he pots, he'll take some stopping.
Yeah, we all love seeing the great players make dots, but I'll tell you, he's probably one of my top 3 or 4 to watch when it comes to a difficult pot. He settles himself so well. Yeah, natural position here. Just got to worry about the speed on him. And he's overcut it. And as soon as I said he gets settled so well, you could tell he never could get settled on that 2-ball. Came up and off it a couple times.
One of those shots, Jeremy, where he couldn't quite make up his mind where to place his bridge hand because of the middle pocket intervening.
And there's all kinds of little things that play into most every shot. And I'll tell you, you know, I know he's down 2-1, but after that mistake from the 8 to the 9, maybe getting to sit in the chair for a little bit, just that extra game, may have cooled him off a little. Fortunski is known at one time in his career to have a little bit, could get upset a bit easy. This is a little off angle. It looks like he wants to go to the rail, but maybe it's a little funny. Like maybe he plays short side on the 7 because it does go by the 9.
Call.
And the reason being is the inside doesn't want to grab so much, so he could end up on top of the 7. That's what I thought he might do, play short side right there, and that's just a smart shot. Just a little draw stroke here. And you can hear how crisp he hits the ball and strikes the ball.
Yeah, there's no hint of a jerk in the cue action. It's very smooth and the timing is immaculate.
Caught a little bit of the rail there on the 9. That ties our match at 2 apiece.
No one is surprised. This is quite a tight affair. And one of the reasons is big stakes, big prize money on offer at the World Pool Masters. Everyone is guaranteed something. If you lose in this round, it's $1,750 US. These early matches are worth a $500 differential, and then it builds and builds and builds. If you get to the final, $13,000 for the runner-up, and it's a $25,000 jackpot for the winner. Total prize fund, $100,000. 24 of the best exponents of the game of pool in the world gathered here in Gibraltar for the game's biggest invitation event.
Yeah, and most of these players go to another tournament, not far, next week, and then still preparing for that UK Open, that inaugural UK Open. So pool like many sports, it gets streaky. So a big win for one of these may lead to more big wins here in the near future. Kiss on the cue ball, 9-ball, golden break.
Mieszko Fortunski wins the rack.
Well, that's one way to get things sorted out quickly. We saw at the recent World 9-Ball Championship, on the way to capturing the title, Shane Van Boening had consecutive golden breaks, which is really unusual. But they're always welcome, Jeremy.
You know, watch it come off the end rail there, the 5. Hit it just right.
Went in without touching the sides. I mentioned Shane Van Boening having 2 golden breaks on the way to winning that world title recently. When he won one of his Whirlpool Masters trophies, he overcame Darren Appleton easily in the final, and on that occasion he had 2 golden breaks as well. The Polish fans loving that.
Well, it almost makes sense with Shane. Nobody unloads on the break like he does. Get that 9 moving.
Whenever there's a golden break, there's always a moment of hesitation in the crowd, because sometimes people don't realise what's just occurred.
You're right.
Mieszko Fortunski to break, leading 3 racks to 2.
Well, after an opening break that he wasn't in love with, he sure has gotten that part of it straightened out. And now game 6. Now the 2's going to get kissed in front of the pocket. The 4's going to open up. What's the 5 and 6 going to do? Looks okay. Besides the cue ball resting near the rail. So he may not be able to get that heavy of a shot 4 here in a moment, but any cut shot on the 4 would probably be okay. But I don't know, does he have to elevate the cue here? Or can he hit a top inside and get something decent on the 4? For a ball just some 6 inches from the pocket, yeah, this is difficult. I don't know what he's going to do, really unload here. No, oh yeah, that was the shot all day. Now he's got to play a nice one here. Now the good thing about this shot, with the way the 5 and 6 are, very hard to give up a shot because he's going to address this with a lot of left English coming down for the cue ball for shape. But he's going to have some cover just in case he misses
Extension,
it.
please.
Got to put a lot of inside here. Key here is don't let up. He hit it sweet. He hit it sweet. Now, can he avoid the 6, or does he have to go past the 6 for short side? Yeah, I wouldn't do anything too silly. You don't want to draw this ball and catch the 6. I think I play short side here, maybe. Yeah, I think that's okay. It's not something you're going to do very often, but he can just come one rail at this ball. Could draw this out of the corner 2 rails, but I think I stay. Well, that's what he's going to do. Okay, nice shot.
Yes, he possessed the right angle to do that, and now he should be away. And how quickly a match can change. Jayson Shaw was flowing, had that awkward bridging, overcut the 2, and since then, Fortunski has flown.
Yeah, and Jason's very aware of this man's ability and knows that's why you saw that grimace after overcutting the 2. He knows that it won't take much for Fortunski to sit him in his chair for quite some time.
Yes, still Fortunski wins the rack.
Very impressive indeed, and he's arrived at this 4-2 lead quickly, obviously helped by the golden break. That, though, was one beautiful run out.
Rack 7. Mieszko Fortunski to break, leading 4 racks to 2.
In the first round of the Whirlpool Masters last year, Mieszko Fortunski defeated Christina to catch 7-2. How he would love to win this one 7-2. Still has the chance.
Yeah, well, right before the break, we saw some smiles from Fortunski, and that's a very dangerous sign for the rest of this field and Jayson Shaw here in this opening match. I think once this guy comes into his own mentally, I think you're definitely going to see some big wins. And just really got all the tools, Phil. It's got tons of power, effortless power, and a great touch as well. Hard combination.
Yeah, as you say, over the years has been on occasion self-destructive through dwelling on mistakes and ill fortune. And sometimes...
Was that too much? Oh, he's okay. I'm sorry, Phil, go ahead.
No, I'm going to say sometimes, you know, players never get over that. They never develop the mentality to be powerful enough upstairs to control their emotions. But if he can do it, I agree with you completely. I think he's got the capabilities to win major titles.
Well, the Polish crew is a tight crew and obviously doing the right things to make a name for their country in professional pool. So I think he's got probably some great people around him that also recognize maybe the one real flaw he has, right? Which is can get to any of us, but you can't let it get to you continuously. Hard to say who the, I guess now it's hard to say, but it was just a couple years ago where many were convinced this guy here was definitely going to be and was the top Polish player. Now it's definitely an argument for many, but all right, looks like he's going forward to the end rail. I thought he may just stun across and take the cut, but going to get a little closer to that 8-ball. He's in a great spot again, the lefty. Just a touch of left English here. I wouldn't play the 2 rails myself. Just float this in. Of course, these guys are at the table. So he sees the angle. Made that look pretty easy.
You have to say this is now a crisis for Jayson Shaw. One of the pre-tournament favourites suddenly finds himself in deep trouble since overcutting the 2-ball when he was 2-1 ahead and going nicely. It's been one-way traffic. And Jeremy, Fortunski's break is working a treat.
Yeah, he's hit it better and better. It seems like each game. And I'll tell you another thing to think about, and it's always important, but the level of play has gotten so high that lag is huge. I mean, he overran that draw stroke on the 8, but the way he's playing, who knows if we ever see Shaw in this match much if he doesn't overrun in the second game when he drew the ball.
Yeah, that was a bad error, but it's not let him become frustrated. These two are loving it, aren't they? The fans wearing the colours of Poland, cheering on Fortunski.
Rack number 8. Mieszko Fortunski to break, leading 5 racks to 2.
And you really don't see him getting slowed down here at all. almost feel like it's got to be something unfortunate. Well, that's too unfortunate, or at least not so far. Watch out for the pink 4. Oh, he's going to be just fine. Better than fine.
This is just drum breaking, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just a couple feet from the 2. It goes easily in the side. It doesn't have too much angle to let it get away from him with the 3 in the side. The 4 will be nice and opened up once the 2's gone. So really just keep it simple here. Don't overthink it. You can handle a lot on the 3 in the side, so just no flirting with the cue ball. Looks like he can roll this in. Oh, he's gone way too far. That's a huge mistake. I think he'll cover because he's so talented, but I don't really blame the speed control. I blame the decision a little more. I think the decision maybe draw the ball there a little bit because he went past it easily. You know, like that was. Now, is he looking at the 3 in the side? I thought he would take on the upper right. He's such a great shot maker.
That was the follow-through equivalent of the overplayed screwback that cost him in rack 2.
Yeah, I like the corner better here. He's such a great ball pocketer. Don't take a funny side pocket on. Oh, he's hit it perfect. Very similar to the 4 ball he struck in game number 1. Yeah, you might say a bit more difficult shot, but I think one that's made more often than that back cut in the side, especially when nerves are high. Does he come back for the side? Personally, wouldn't myself. When you're this talented, just keep it simple. No reason to roll this. I would stun this ball. Yeah, like that. Super nice shot.
This is the glory of 9-ball pool and also the cruelty of it. One mistake from Jayson Shaw. Mieszko Fortunski steps in, and now he is crushing this. He's on the hill very swiftly at 6-2. And there's a repetitive nature to the way this match is going. It's just break off and then run out.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if Jayson does get back to the table. If he changes sides, it seems both sides are breaking well, but I do like the side that Fortunski's breaking from a little bit better. We've seen it in each of the matches, I think.
Looking, you know, at the Roll of Honor, it's the 10-year anniversary, this, of Poland's greatest ever World Pool Masters in Kielce in Poland in 2012. It was an all-Polish final to this tournament. Karol Skawerski beat Mateusz Snigocki 8-6. I wonder whether a decade on, Fortunski can lift the trophy for Poland again.
Mieszko Fortunski to break, leading 6 racks to 2.
Or at least most of us think that Poland definitely is going to have many titles and probably deserves, the country probably deserves some titles. All right, no reason to back off. Oh, he's hit it great. He's hit it great. Is the 2 going to agree again? This is going to get difficult if he does have a shot at all. And I think he's partially snookered on the make. I think he has a sliver of the 2, but I don't know if he can really go after it. I'd like to see him have a shot here because I love to see the great players make greats. He's hit it sweet again.
You know, there's a phrase that comes to mind here, Jeremy. Taste of own medicine. Jayson Shaw's done this to so many players, and now he is on the receiving end.
Yeah, you read my mind there, Phil. I was thinking the exact same thing when they showed Jayson in the chair. He's not thinking that right now, but we certainly are.
Extension, please.
But I'll tell you got to give it to Fortunski. I mean, the cue ball wasn't on a string all the time, but he kept coming with shots, and he's still got to come with some. This is far from over, of course. We know how 9-ball is. But when he starts playing like that, just accepting the shot in difficult situations and understanding how great he is, this guy's going to be 25% tough. All right, you can use a little bit of the rail to pocket this ball, so should be no problem pulling the cue ball.
Jayson Shaw will be sitting there fearing the worst, and with every justification.
Probably wanted a hair more angle there, but not too upset about it. He's got to track the cue ball, maybe cheat the pocket here a little bit. He may draw the ball. This is going to get a little thin, but should be fine. I think he gets past the side with the cue ball easily. And did he ever use an extension in the match, Phil? It just kind of got on with it, right? Even with the tough shots.
An elite 8 players involved on this table tonight, and the most impressive, without any shadow of doubt, was the man from Poland, Mieszko Fortunski. He defeats Jayson Shaw, nay, he trounces Jayson Shaw by 7 racks to 2. That was one of the best performances I've ever seen from Mieszko. And what a rude awakening for Jayson Shaw to come all the way here to win 2 racks. He missed the 2-ball, overcut it. After that, it was just all Fortunski.
That's right. Fortunski made a great shot on that 2 after Jayson missed it.